Okay, I'd like to welcome to the set of the Donnie Glover Show. We have Saudia Scott. How are you, Saudia?
I'm doing fine, Donnie. How are
No,
you?
actually, you're mad. You're ready to bust somebody's head.
Yeah,
What
I'm
happened?
ready to share my story. July 25th, 2016, while shopping in Harford County at an Old Navy location. As I entered the store, I had on a tank top dress, a pair of flip flops, and a purse that's strapped across my waist. It was about 106 degrees outside. I went in for a particular reason to purchase some dresses for my company. As I walked into the store, I'm on the phone with one of my girlfriends and I'm browsing around the store. I said, girl, let me get off the phone so I can continue my shopping. I spotted the dresses which I came to purchase, which was basically in the front of the Old Navy, like near the register area. It was a manager standing not too far from me. I asked her, was this all the t-shirt dresses that she had? And she said there was possibly some back in the clearance section. I said, where's the clearance section? She said, to the back to the right. I repeated her, to the back to the right of the store. I proceeded to go to the back of the right of the store as she instructed. When I got to the back, I took the t-shirt dresses that I had picked up, that draped across my arm. I threw them across a cart that was in the back of the store. I knelt down and I looked through the clearance section, started to browse, see what sales I can come up with. Picked up one dress, threw the dress across my arm, and proceeded to the front of the store in the same direction that I came. As I was walking to the front of the store, I noticed that there was a hoodie. Hoodie was priced for $5. I'm like, that seemed like a really good price. Let me grab that. I'm a bargain shopper. As I approached the front of the register, it was maybe one person in front of me. I waited in line. I waited for my turn. As I proceeded to the front of the register, so let me call my daughter, see if she have any coupons. Call my daughter. She's like, no, mommy, I don't have any coupons right now. I glance across the back of my shoulder and I see a sign over top of the t-shirt sign dresses that I was in the midst of purchasing. And it said something about a sale, you get a certain amount of cash back on your purchases. So I asked the manager, who was to my right, cashier was to the front. I said, how does that sale work? She said, and it works if you spend a certain amount of money, you get cash back, $10 cash back. I said, so what is the max I can get? She said $75. I said, okay, well, can you bring my purchases separately because I'm going to spend more than $150 on purchases. Said, sure, took everything off the hanger, swiped my credit card on two different purchases, and so the girls who deal with young girls said, when I left the store, I said, have a good day, stay cool. It's really hot outside. As I exited the store with my receipts in hand, I was confronted by three Harford County police officers. One police officer surrounded my car, kind of like walked around my car. He said, is this your car? And I said, yeah, it's my car. He said, I need you to go back into the store. I said, do you mind telling me why? He said, we got to call you a shoplifting. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, I need you to come back into the store. We walk him back to the store and he's asking me questions as is my driver's license valid, my telephone number, asking about my time in the store. Meanwhile, a second police officer walks in and he greets with the manager of the store and they head to the back of the store. And I'm standing there, I'm fighting back tears like you would not believe. Like, I'm scared. This could go so wrong. What have I done in order for her to call
Now,
the
this
police on
was
me?
last year,
This was 2016. Yes,
2016, in the
yes,
middle of the summer,
yes,
106 degrees.
yes.
You're shopping in the Old Navy / Gap in Harford County.
That is correct, which is also labeled as Abington. So the second police officer, he goes back.
And at this point, they tell you that they have a call that you were shoplifting.
Yes, the call said I was shoplifting. So the second police officer, he goes to the back of the store. He and the manager, I'm assuming I wasn't with them, to review the surveillance camera. They're back there for quite some time. The police is still standing there asking me questions. They came back. Second police officer came back and he said, nodded his head, you can leave. So I asked the first police officer that was still standing next to me, may I have your badge number, and do you mind if I approach and ask the girl at the counter for her name? I approached the counter, and as he walked around to the counter with me, people were staring at me, and I'm like, my emotions, I mean, when I say I was fighting back.
Has this ever
Tears.
happened to you before?
This has never happened to me before.
But you understand this happens to people all the time.
Yes, I do.
And some
Yes,
people are guilty.
Some people are guilty.
Have you since gotten a lawyer?
I hired a lawyer 3 days later after I contact Old Navy, making them aware of what happened. I got a call back. No, I'm sorry. When I called them,
She got a lawyer. Tracy
I got a
Simmons, she
lawyer.
got a lawyer. That's the lady
I
making comment.
Okay, I have a lawyer. As I exited the store, the police officer said, "Get in your car because it's too hot for you to stand outside. I want to read to you how the call came through." The call came through as a black lady in a pink dress is shoplifting. As I exited the parking lot, I had to circle around a third police officer a little ways down the road. Called my daughter. I just broke down. Like everything I was holding inside, I broke down. I said, "Can you please contact Old Navy? I can't even think of the number to get the number right now." I called them, shared the story with them. They said someone will contact you in 24 hours.
Did they?
They did not.
What would you expect at this point?
They did not. In the beginning, I expected an apology. Right now, the way they have.
Was that realistic?
Was it realistic for them to apologize? The way I carry myself, I think, was realistic because she
But
was
realistic
wrong.
in how they carry things nationally.
No, it was not.
What have you come to understand about Old Navy and a lot of the other mainstream stores that we as people of color shop in who have, for whatever reason, fail to respect us?
They care nothing about us.
So why do we shop there?
They thought this is why I need to put it out and let everybody knows. I was at work and I read something from Rosa Parks recently. When you know you're doing the right thing, you're not fearful. And this is what made me bring my story, to share my story. It took me a while. I've been in counseling for 2.5 years. It took me a while to speak out because I was afraid of the media, afraid of the public, and afraid of, the Old Navy Gap attorneys they are so nasty and rude.
But now, last I checked, karma's real. Old Navy, Gap, see, Gap is losing business.
Yes.
So that whole connection that they have, it's not going well. They're losing money.
This is what I understand.
Karma is real.
Absolutely, it is. And
So what would you tell the people who, first of all, people of color who shop at Old Navy and the Gap in Harford County, I guess you would tell them not to shop there.
I'm gonna tell y'all to leave them alone because they don't care anything about us. When I say they have no respect for African American women, African Americans, period. They have no respect. And it's painful. I know it's real. I know it's real and it happens. I want to speak out and I want to let the public know. Like I explained to you before, I work for the school system and I see my kids walk around with Gap and Old Navy on, and it makes my skin crawl because they don't know what does it even mean?
Well, not just Old Navy, Gucci.
What does it even mean?
Didn't Gucci recently put out some sweaters?
Yeah, absolutely, something about some monkey or something like that.
Blackface.
You got to be very careful what you're displaying or what you're
and then
wearing.
some of us don't know the history of blackface. Some of them, meaning non-blacks, don't know the history of blackface.
Mm-hmm. I think it's important for us to know where we put in our money. And for me being an entrepreneur, when I get to meet my persons, it makes me feel really well that I can be on a level where I can meet my customers. And I see people spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and that person don't care anything about your well-being.
Your students are influenced by rap artists, celebrities who flaunt some of these brands.
Absolutely.
What is the message you want to get to your students and their parents?
I want them to research.
Because I'm fly if I have on a Gucci belt, right?
Right, I understand. I want you to research.
I'm fly, but these are people who don't respect my people.
Right. I want them to, my message to my kids is to research, know where your parents, because it's not their money ultimately, but know where your parents, and even parents know who you're putting your money into, who you're supporting. Because you're just not purchasing something from a company, you're supporting a company. And you don't want to support someone or something that does not have your best interest, or someone who has no respect for the color of your skin. or for your gender. That's unfair.
How did this affect your daughter?
Oh man, it's painful. It's painful for my kids to see what mommy has gone through over the last 2.5 years. It's painful for them to see that, because they know that's not my character, that's not my personality. So that's how it has affected my children.
I mean,
really-
do they shop at Old Navy
No,
Gap?
no, they do not. No,
So
I
it's
would not
also
tolerate
changed their
that.
shopping habits.
Oh, and it also has messed up my shopping experience. I love to shop. Now when I shop, I'm paranoid like crazy. It bothers me. Every woman loves to shop. They've taken that experience.
A lot of men like to shop. Shit, I like to shop.
They've taken that pleasant.
I remember going to Ricerstown Road Plaza back in the day, and folks would follow you around. Or you go to the head company, and people will follow you around the store. I've been to Johns Hopkins Hospital in East Baltimore, and people will follow you around.
It's
But see, these are ignorant people who don't even know their own history.
Exactly. And they realize the dollar.
I'm insulted when you look at me, and the first thing you think is, I want to steal your stuff.
Right. And it's hurtful.
When the history of others clearly demonstrates patterns of lying and stealing.
Absolutely.
From the beginning.
Theft. Yeah, it does. It does. So it's painful. I'm going through a lawsuit right now. It's been going on for 2.5 years. I can give more details as they come about with my attorney. My attorney is Martina Evans. She's a great attorney. She's
been on our show before, if I'm not mistaken.
She has. She's a great attorney. But because Old Navy Gap has the same lawyers as, even I'm going to put it out there, as Walmart, it's the same corporation that has the attorneys. They have billions of dollars. So at some point, they probably thought that I was going to go away. I'm not going to go away. I'm a strong black woman. It's not going to happen. I'm standing firm, and what is right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to let people know what's going on with Old Navy / Gap Corporation.
Good deal. Thank you very much, and keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover
Thanks, Donnie.
the truth.
That was live.
Yeah.